I don't know about you, but I swear this Ironside intro keeps changing pitch. Cue the music, small Filipino boy! That's right, I'm a YouTuber and I pay a small Filipino boy a lot of money to stop the music up on my channel. You know what was a fun time? World War I. Nothing like signing up with all of your best pals from the local village for a bit of Jerry bashing. And then you sit in a trench for a whole year, you get trench foot, cholera, all sorts of diseases, and then on that final day you see a bit of combat, you go over the edge and you all die except Dave. Well, all in all, it was actually a pretty good war, especially if you're Dave and you get to go home to an empty village devoid of men because they all died on the front lines, and you get to fuck everybody's now widowed wife. Fuck you, Dave. Now imagine all of that, but times 50 and everybody's speaking Russian. I know, it sounds so great. Now, if history's taught me anything, Nikolai, your hairline's not going to be the only thing retreating from the Germans in this game. So if you didn't know, this is actually a reworked version of the Great War mod with a whole bunch of more mods added into it to make it more enjoyable. Now, whether or not it actually makes it more enjoyable is up for debate, because realistically, it's just adding a whole bunch of more shit for things to go wrong with. Although you can build farms, which means we are getting closer to the Hearts of Iron 4 farming simulator mod. It also has a reworked version of the stockpiling mod, which I haven't covered on this channel, but I'm sure a few of you have heard about, where you can buy, sell, do all sorts of interesting stuff on the global market. I know, it's not Victoria free, and it never will be. What? You're telling me the Chinese aren't happy about being ruled by a small child in an oversized dress? What the heck, China? Oh yes, it's me, Boris. I very much love the Kaiser and I want to eat sausage. Please, let me know that secret. I honestly don't know how they figured out he was a spy. Now, realistically, Nikolai wasn't that great with the whole reform business, but this time around, I think we're gonna go ahead and try to adopt a few reforms so, you know, we don't all starve to death and then revolt and kill the nobility. The Chinese Civil War seems to be endlessly flip-flopping between the two, and I think it might be something to do with the fact the small Chinese baby is actually a little bit fascist and communist. Well, Meji's dead, doesn't really matter though, because thankfully now we've got Taisho, and after him, we're not going to talk about who comes after him. Good news, everybody, the Ottomans are falling apart, and now everyone's decided, hey, why does Bulgaria get to get all of that land? Why don't we have it instead? You know, just researching the normal stuff, some motorized, some new tactics, mustard gas, and a new helmet. Oh no! You're telling me these unsteady alliances across Europe might scale into a global war? Oh my! I'm gonna see this coming! I didn't see that one coming though, to be fair, and I'm highly suspecting that maybe the other side of the Chinese Civil War is now gonna join the Central Powers, which isn't that good for me. Well, ain't that something? Now you may be thinking, iSorrow, if you retreat, that means the Russian Civil War is gonna trigger, and to that I have to say, yeah, I'm kind of counting on it. I'll see you later, Mr. Nicholas. You were real cool and all with that hairline, but unfortunately now I need to go quench another revolt, and then maybe you can come back later in the future. Just, I don't count on it, you know? Now, the Soviets spawned with low ammo, low petrol, and low food, which means, the Soviets are quite literally losing the war because they have no food. I'm not making that up. They are starving to death. Oh shit, man, Serbia's going pretty fucking ham there. And yeah, the Soviets are done. Unfortunately though, I didn't get a peace conference with them. Not entirely sure why. Maybe it goes through an event or something, or maybe there's just some land I haven't taken yet, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have to console annex some if it doesn't go away. Who fucking knows? Oh, there you go. The Soviets just randomly capitulated. I have no idea what was going on there, but like I said in the start, the more mods, the more likely things are to just fucking break, and boy are they breaking. Oh, I love snaking through China. It's one of my... Oh, wait, no. Oh, I thought I got rid of you, Nikolai! Well, the Emperor of China has capitulated, and hopefully he doesn't do a Emperor of Russia and just turn back up after the war's over. But currently he's hiding out in Hong Kong, which is a much more fitting bit of land for him to govern over, considering, you know, he's a child. You know, things are pretty complicated right now in the war. Serbia and Montenegro are doing all the work, and meanwhile the Austrians are just hanging out in northern Italy with no supply. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but sure. Well, you know, I should probably do something at some point, because, you know, all my allies are doing a lot of work. I suppose I should do some work too, and I found a pretty big break up here in the north, and I'm just going to go ahead and try do a full push here. I'm sure it will go completely fine, and we won't lose hundreds upon hundreds of men every single minute. Oh my god, you know it's getting pretty fucking bad when the Belgians are actually pushing the Germans back, and Russia's, you know, sure Russia's only just joined the war technically, but you know what? We're doing the best we can, and that's pretty little. Thankfully, I just had to wait for the enemy to starve to death, and that means I can push in easy peasy, get some cool encirclements, post them on the Reddit, and trick everyone into thinking I'm a good player. Yeah, I galloped into Berlin on a horse. It's just what I do, and I don't know where the Germans are, but I'm just gonna keep galloping and galloping until I get called a fucking pony fucker. Make sure to leave a like and hit the subscribe button for more crazy encirclements from... Oh, okay, you guys should not trust me with this peace conference. If you thought Versailles was bad, you're about to be in for a whole world of fucking pain. Oh, wait a sec, just gotta take a quick pit stop over here in Starvation Alley. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not a tank, Russia. That's literally a frying pan. You've created a frying pan and called it a tank. You know, now I've destabilized the world with this peace treaty, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave the Entente and wait for World War II to happen, because I'm sure it's gonna be any minute now. Yeah, I gotta go ahead and steal Manchuria before Japan gets their dirty little hands all over it, because I'm telling you, it's gonna be any fucking minute now, and I'm ready. Yeah, Russo-Japanese War Round 2, I'm fucking ready! You know, whilst I thought all the communists starved to death, apparently not. They are the roaches of the agricultural world, apparently. You know what? Why not? When did communism ever do anything bad for Russia? Although it is a slight irk that we are Soviet Russia and we're still green. Not quite the red I was expecting. Now, is it a bit convenient that as soon as the Soviets become in charge of Russia, the Spanish flu kills 60 to 100 million people? I don't know, alright? Things just happen the way they do. You know what? I don't think we were rough enough on the Germans in that peace treaty. It's time for round 2, but it's not a world war because the Germans are still very weak after I thrashed them the first time. Although technically it was Serbia. Yeah, it kind of turned into this little thing called a stalemate now that the Germans are entrenched, but we have managed to take quite a bit of land, and I'm also about to deploy some of my some of my very cool tactical tanks. They're really going to change the shape of the battlefield. They're already taking a trip. Oh my god, you're moving one tile! Look at these fucking Germans trying to shoot the tank. You can't shoot a tank. Oh wait, no, you're trying to shoot the giant guy standing behind the tiny okay, makes sense. I think the Germans might have run out of ammo or food because, yeah, just managed to suddenly destroy them, which is one of the very weird mechanics in this mod. The ammo and food meter, it really can turn the war that quickly. So how can I make the Germans be even more pissed off with the Treaty of Versailles? There you go. Just split them up and make them even more communist. Oh, what's that? A totally non-cheated in event. Japan's gone militarist / it's called fascist, but they're not really. They're just kind of in their World War II mode of Japan where they're like, oh, hey China, I'm gonna invade you. Oh, and what's that? Mussolini again, not cheated in. I wouldn't ever cheat in the event because nothing was happening. I got bored. Anyway, that Russo-Japanese war we had, how about we give that another go? You see, this time, Japan, I didn't put complete fucking idiots in control of the Navy. Can you tell? And I don't know about you, but I just sank 28 battleships. 28 battleships! I mean, technically, I rush battleships level 1, so that's putting me at quite the edge against the Japanese, but it also could be, you know, the fact I have 150 ships just fighting these 15, so. See, I figured out how I'm doing so well in these naval battles. It's because I secretly developed a underwater submarine battleship! This mod also includes the better peace options mod, which means we can actually just propose peace to the Japanese right now, and we'll just take what land we've taken. So we now get to keep all the land we've taken from the Japanese, and we get peace too if they agreed, which they did, which is a pretty cool mod, I gotta say. All the mods included in this were pretty good. I found the ammunition one to be very glitchy though, and it doesn't really work as you're constantly losing more ammunition than you're producing, and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'd probably get rid of that one. That was pretty annoying. The food system seemed to work completely fine though. That was good. It was just the ammunition I had a lot of problems with. But either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and you feel free maybe to suggest me another nation to play in this mod. Maybe I could try Britain or France. That'd be pretty interesting. But I hope they work on it a little bit more, tweak out the supply issue with the ammunition. That'd be really fucking cool. But until next time, guys, I'll never do an artillery only.